Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 25 and welcome back to our Calm Land Survival Challenge where we started from scratch. And yeah, we're just out here enjoying a beautiful spring morning out here by our little river. And I ain't gonna lie y'all, this is one of my favorite Farm Sim views I've ever had. Shout out, I know I've said this before, shout out to the mod creator, but good lord brother. That is a beautiful little river. It's so tranquil, so calm, and here we are just enjoying it, right? But there's work to be done. It's April. It's springtime. We got a lot of work to do. Now, good news is I got my farm hands already working on it. We also have a lot of money in the bank from all the silage that we sold off over the wintertime. And we're up to 291 chickens. Look at our chickens go. And they are producing eggs, finally. So let's go ahead and get these eggs out of the trigger here. We're going to actually just put them in our little cubby hole for the time being. That way we keep that area open. But there's a couple of things that I want to do today. One of them is I want to jump in this tractor. Oh, God. Dude, why can the AI just not do proper with this? Brother, you have one job. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna regret that, I'm sure. But they're pretty cheap. But good lord, man. The AI cannot use that thing. Because it screws everything up. Alright, hopefully that'll get back to normal. Let's go ahead and fold this up. We're getting rid of the Batwing today. I'm going to get some a new mower. This mower's got to go. So let's take this thing up to the shop. We also have some new stuff up there in terms of our... That's another thing I want to look at. I think it's time to go ahead and do this. I found something on sale during the winter. And so we are going to, you know what, while we're waiting, I might as well just detach this, get out of that as well. Alright, so, during the winter we found a new harvester header. We were talking about in the last episode we wanted to potentially get a new harvester header for our harvester, a bigger one. I know that this is capable of utilizing a bigger header. So we are going to do just that. So we're going to get our harvester up there to pick that up. We also have our tractor here. We're going to go ahead and reset that. And we're going to reset the mower. Alright. Now, time to fix and get rid of all this stuff. So as you can see, we found an absolutely massive header. And it was on sale for half off. So we only paid like 30 grand for that header. I say only. That's a lot of money, but it's a lot better than what we were paying, or we would have paid for it. It's, I think, $76,000 for that header normally. But we're going to go ahead and repair, repaint, and sell our mower. We'll get this thing out of the way now. Let's get this thing over here and pick up our old header. Get it repaired, repainted, and then sold off. See if we can't sneak between the building and our new header here. Look at the size of this header, though. It might be a bit too big for this combine. We may end up having to upgrade our combine. But I'm hoping that it'll fit. I'm hoping it'll work. Because that's about as big of a header as you can get. But we'll find out. Get this thing over here. we are going to repair, repaint, and sell. Get a little bit of money back. And then we are going to... Fortunately, we got the version that has the wheels already on it. It's got like a built-in header trailer. But I want to pick it up first and see if it's just going to work. Like, if I can pick this thing up normally without this harvester trying to fall over. I mean, it appears that I can. So that's good. Alright, well, I mean, we may not have to upgrade the harvester just yet, which is perfect because I didn't want to, if I can avoid it. But we will hook up our harvester and pull this sucker down to the property. But yeah, this is the header for the Lizard Colossus harvester, and it actually fits. I say fits. It actually, hopefully, will work with this harvester for the time being. I would like to upgrade to the Lizard Colossus at some point, but the header is going to have to do for now. Look at the size of the header compared to this little harvester. It looks a bit ridiculous. I agree. But if it works, it works. And we out here, we only have so much money. We can't be spending all our money upgrading equipment if we can find workarounds, you know what I mean? Part of farming is doing as much as possible with as little as possible, right? You don't want to spend a whole bunch of extra money if you don't have to. So that's going to be our goal for today, is to try to spend as little money as possible to make things as efficient as possible, because we are going to be buying some property today, and we are going to be doing a lot of work today to expand, because we have $392,000 in the bank currently. We are going to get a new mower, which somebody pointed out that the Lizard Colossus mower that's in the thing is actually possible to hook up via 3-point hitch. I didn't know that. I thought you had to buy like the Lizard harvester in order to use that. But yeah, if that's the case, then I will absolutely use that, because we are going to be needing to get more and more done each month, or like each time that we do this, because our ambitions are massive. We are gonna want to go much larger, and today is going to be the start of that massive expansion, because that is my goal for today, is to expand to a massive area if we can. That is the goal. Of course, we got to drive this harvester, and this thing takes forever to drive. But it's worth it. Look at that big old harvester header, man. That is crazy how big that header is. Especially when you compare it to the size of the harvester it's going to be on. It's a bit excessive, some might say. But hey, if we can afford it and it works, and then we're good. If it doesn't work, we're in trouble. but only time will tell. I don't think I've ever had, like, I remember we did briefly have a larger header on this thing in the New Frontier Challenge. But, yeah, for the moment, I don't remember if it was this big. But either way, we want to get a mower next. So let's go to our grassland. So y'all were saying that the Colossus Quick Mow actually is a mower, and there is the unrealistic version that allows us to go kind of crazy. So we are going to grab this, and it's stupid cheap too. Like that's the crazy part. Like this thing literally costs nothing, and it is in fact a 3-point hitch. Now this appears to be a front mower, but I don't know if you can go with the rear mower or not. But I am going to go ahead and go with the 50 meters just because we're going to be getting into some ridiculous stuff. So I'm going to go with that. I like keeping the colors is fine, but we are going to be using this on a case tractor. So I think we go with the case. We're going to paint this thing into beautiful case red. There we go. And then, of course, as far as design color, we got to have some black. Yeah, look at that. Starting to get there. Now, the real question is, do I want that as black or do I want that as the case red? I think that black looks pretty good. Yeah, I think we keep it like that. All right, so $12,500 for this mower. And we are going to use it. Now, it does look like a front mower, but I'm wondering if I can use it from the rear. You know what I mean? Like, we do have a hitch on the front and a PTO on the front that we can use it on the front. But I'm wondering if it works in reverse too. Because somebody mentioned that it has like a swathing function. And if you go like 50 meters, then the swaths tend to become a problem for the tractor. But we'll see. We'll unfold the mower, because there's no reason not to. We'll get this thing back down to where we're headed. Get it down to our grass field. Alright, so the mode is spreading. I want swath dropping. But honestly, it doesn't really matter if we do swath dropping or not. If this doesn't work very well with swath dropping, or it doesn't work with swath dropping at all while we're pulling it behind the tractor, which is what I kind of want it to do, then what I will end up doing is I'll just disable the swath dropping, because we don't really need swath dropping. But I do understand that this is a front mower, and if I were to try to use the AI right now, I don't think the AI would be able to do it. But again, if it's 50 meters, we don't need the AI to do it. You know what I mean? I can beat this freaking grass like immediately. Alright, so if we set this thing up, should be able to go here. It is automatically on a 50 meter working width, which is too big. So just like with the other truck, we're going to go with like a 47.5. And that should work. Something happens in this game when you get to a 50 meter working width that it doesn't like to work. But if you just reduce the working width on the auto drive by a little bit, it should work just fine. So we will do that. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so yes, it does not work this way. Fair enough. I knew it's a front discharge or a front mower, so that's why I was wondering, but we're all good. All right, so we'll set it up again real quick. Okay, I see what you mean about the swaths being kind of tall for the tractor. A bit ridiculous, but this will rapidly speed up the amount of grass that we can deal with in a month. Because right now we've been struggling. But yeah, this is big. And the good news is, even though the swaths are a bit massive, it seems to be doing okay. The tractor's not really struggling that much. Of course, we're not taking a full bite either. Yeah, I had no idea that this was like this. I thought that that had to. I thought that this mower had to go for like the actual harvester. I didn't realize it was just a 3-point hitch mower. But setting it up for auto drive, you don't have to worry about the swath being too big anyway, which is nice. Or we just happen to have the perfect tractor for this thing. Who knows? Seems to work just fine. Now, if you guys are worried about the immersion and stuff, I do apologize, but for the aspirations that we want to do for this particular farm, we need the ability to go big, right? We just do. We did say that we would get to this point at some point, but we are getting there a lot sooner than expected. But look how much faster we were able to mow this field. This field normally takes about an hour to mow with the Batwing. And we just did it in like 3 minutes. Kind of crazy. Efficiency is a thing, y'all. Trust me, if farmers had the option to do this in real life, they would. Alright, let's go hit this one little spot up here that we missed. Look at the size of those swaths, though. I don't know, there's something kind of satisfying about just yeeting all of the grass into one gigantic swath. I'm here for it. I'll take it. Alright, well, I mean, that's the grass mode. I can't believe how quick that was. That is so nice. Alright, let's drop off this. We'll grab our fertilizer spreader. Drop the mower. We'll get the AI to do the fertilizer spreading. And then we're going to jump in. Oh, the Fent is still busy. Well, while we're waiting, since we're going to have the option, let's go ahead and look at some land expansion. So we do have $379,000 in the bank. I want to spend that money wisely and get as much land as we possibly can, right? So first thought was to just grab the next row up here, right? That would bring us up to another 20 acres. But that's $183,000, right? What if we went a little bit different? What if we went for like this field? That's 115. Let's go ahead and buy that. Let's buy this. Field number 22. It's only 90. That leaves us 173,000. And then buy this one, which is 82. That leaves us $90,000 in the bank and gets us an extra 12.39, so that'd be 21 and 8, so about 29 acres we just bought between those 3 pieces of property. Or at least 29 workable acres. Obviously, we ended up with a little bit more, but that's also going to allow us to cut in this corner that we've been hating for the entire playthrough. We can finally fill in that corner, all right, so that we make this field a little less annoying. Now, the other thought was we still have $90,000 left. Yeah, we don't quite have enough for that. Yeah, those are real expensive. I was thinking maybe we could sneak in and do something like that, but what about this one? 78 grand. We could grab this one as well. But this one's less important to me at the moment. We would be able to extend this field a little bit, but until we buy this field, that's not really an option. All right, so we have $90,000 in the bank, right? We just bought these 3 pieces of property, which now opens this entire area up for the most part. And I'm thinking we put a giant grass field on. We have enough for 2 fields here, right? We've got a field right here that I want to make, and then a field right here that I want to make. Now, we will end up like potentially building down here at some point, but for the moment, we can just make it a field. So I'm gonna end up needing to get the Fent once he's done planting this field, which he's almost done with, in fairness. And to be honest, let me just stop him right there. Set that down. Let's go grab that little bar. I'll finish this field real quick. That way I have my Fent. We can pick up the grass. We can get the plow. We're going to be making some massive fields today. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I know it's over here somewhere. Why is it not letting me? Oh, do I have to go to the other way? Might have to go this way. I forget which way we dropped it. There we go. Alright. And then I'll finish this field real quick. I'm going to have to go over it. So, going forward, we know that the AI cannot work with these little bars. Because it tends to lift the implement all the way up, and then that doesn't allow the implement to work properly. So we'll just end up getting multiples of these planters probably. And that means we're going to have multiple tractors. Alright, so we got the field fixed up, since the AI kind of screwed the pooch there. That was on me. But we are going to take this thing over here. We will hook up to our forage wagon. We'll pick up all of the grass. We will need to refill the forage wagon with silage additive. So I might have to get some of that, but I think we'll be okay for this particular grass harvest. So I don't think we need to do it right away. But we are going to end up using this planter again in a little bit. So I do want to drop this right out in front, so it's easy to get to. Just a lot of work to be done. Alright, let's go ahead and detach it all together. Ah, see, that's the smart play right there. At least if I'm going to do it myself. Alright, let's grab this. There we go. Oh yeah, I probably ought to get a little closer to the field, huh? Alright, perfect. Let's go get this dropped off. That was actually even more grass this time than the last time, so we did good there. Almost 1 million liters off that field. Alright, let's drop that. Let's go grab our plow and start creating the gigantic fields that we want to create. First of all, I'm going to finish this corner, which means I'm going to tear up part of my field. Now, I wonder if I can use this without folding it. Like, if I choose to not fold this, would it work? Basically, I want to go... Oh, it totally works. Perfect. Because I don't need a super massive extension here. I just want to make this corner go away so that we can actually have a decent AI path, if that makes sense. And then we'll fix all the stuff when we need to. Perfect. Alright, we'll go back through. We'll hit that one more spot. Perfect. Alright, so we'll have to plant that with grass. Let's get this thing across the... Oh. I didn't think about this. How am I going to get this over here? Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, that's too deep. I'm going to end up getting stuck. So there's no way for me to cross there. Oh, that is a sadness. We're going to have to figure something out. I mean, the good news is we really only have to deal with this one time. Because everything else should fit through there no problem. But I got to drive all the way around the lake in order to do what I need to do on the other side. That's a problem that I didn't think about. So there you have it, folks. We have both of our brand new grass fields cut in and planted. We cut the one corner that was always driving us crazy on this grass field out to make it nice and smooth now that we own the property. I'm not 100% sold on the Fendt as the planting tractor, I'll be real honest. This thing just turns so fast that it just flips itself over. It's not an ideal scenario. But we're going to go ahead and drop the planter off right here for the time being. I will leave the little bar on there, I think. And then we'll just pull the Fendt off to the side. We might keep an eye out for a upgrade to the Fendt in the near future. I do like the name Green Goblin for this. I know a couple of other people said like Freddy and stuff like that, which I don't mind that either. But Green Goblin with the long nose kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But let's take a look. Well, let's save real quick before I do something stupid. But we'll save, and then I want to check out what we can expect out of our field. So if we go to our construction menu, look at the massive land expansion we got. So again, we smoothed this corner out finally, so that should be nice and pretty from there on. Eventually we'll own the land up here to go ahead and finish this field off, which will be nice. But we also have to buy this land that's right here to do that. So that's why I've been kind of putting that off. But eventually we'll have all of this land right here, so that field will get completely finished off. And then this field, like I said, this field's going to end up being absurd. This is going to be probably the largest field I've ever worked at some point. So that's why I'm not overly worried about planting anything else at the moment. This may alternate between soybeans and corn. You guys know I like to do that. But I would love to add in some more land on this side for this. And then, of course, start heading up the hill to make this one ginormous field. I think that would be pretty sick to have that much land dedicated to one field. Will I regret it? Probably. But for the time being, it's a thought, you know? It's the thought that I'm having. But as you can see, I mean, we've done a huge expansion to the farm. That should net us about double the amount of grass that we normally get. So this is the grass we usually get 980,000 liters. This should add at least another 900,000 liters. It's probably a little bit smaller than this, but it's hard to tell because they're kind of similar but different. But either way, I'm excited for what the future holds. We got our soybeans replanted. Our wheat will be getting harvested here in a couple of months. The grass fields are ready to go. And yeah, I think that's where we leave off. I'm going to get out of the rain, y'all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.